Hello everyone, welcome to the session on dynamic programming technique. So before we start with the discussion of this dynamic programming technique, so you people should have to be familiar with the divide and conquer technique. So in the case of your divide and conquer technique, so we used to divide your problem into smaller sub problems, and we used to try to find the solution to those small instances. And with the support of the solution of the smaller instances, so we used to find the solution to your larger instances of the problem. In the case of your dynamic programming also, we adapt the same type of strategy. The only difference is, so here in this case, the solution of the smaller subproblems, we used to store it in a memory, and whenever we required with that solution, so we use that to find the solution to the larger instance of the problem. So under this dynamic programming technique, so obviously we'll be concentrating on the problem of 0-1 knapsack. Let me brief again what exactly your dynamic programming technique is. Dynamic programming is a method for solving certain kinds of problems, like your 0-1 knapsack and shortest path algorithms, etc., etc. And this dynamic programming can be solved when the solution of the problems includes solutions to the sub-problems. So we can apply to the solution for which of the problems where we have the solution for the smaller sub-problems. For those cases, I can include this dynamic programming technique. And also the solution, we used to do it by a recursive formula. So even in the case of your divide and conquer technique also, so majority of the problems were addressed by using recursive functions. So we can recursively solve sub-problems starting from the trivial case. So trivial case in the sense, smaller instances. For the smaller instances, we used to try to find the solution, and we record those solutions in the memory. And later on, we use that solution to find the solution for your whole problem. So this is what the strategy that we're going to adapt in your dynamic programming technique. In a simple way, if I want to say, so using your recursive concept, I want to solve the sub-problems, and those sub-problems are being stored in the memory, and later on I use that stored solution for solving your whole problem. Properties of your dynamic programming problems are simple sub-problems. We should be able to break the original problem to smaller sub-problems that have the same structures. So smaller sub-problems, even they should have the replica of your original structure problems. So I mean to say that the structure of your bigger instance problem and the smaller instance problem should be of the same structure. Optimal structure of the problem. The solution to the problem must be a composition of the sub-problem solutions. If I want to find the solution for a problem, so that solution, it's a composition of the sub-problem solutions. So that's why first we used to find the solution for the sub-problem, and later on I use that solution to solve your bigger instance problem. And your sub-problems overlap. Optimal sub-problems, two unrelated problems can contain sub-problems in common. So sometimes your problems, that is smaller instance problems, will go into overlap, and I'll be using those things to find the solution for the larger instance problem. So under this dynamic programming technique, there are lots of problems. So we need to concentrate on this 0-1 knapsack problem. Knapsack in the sense is nothing but a bag or a container. So we used to define this problem something like this, your 0-1 knapsack. So we are given with a knapsack, that is a bag or a container with a capacity size of W, and will be provided with some items. Those set of items I can call it as S, and number of items can be N, and each items in that particular set so will be associated with the weight as well as the profit value. In some textbook they used to call it as the profit, and in some textbooks they used to call it by the term benefit. Okay, so each of the item will be associated with a weight component as well as with a profit component or the benefit component called as BI. So BI in the sense, so it's corresponding to the benefit of the ith item. WI in the sense is the weight corresponding to the ith item, and this WI, that is weight of the corresponding item I, BI the benefit of the corresponding item I, and the capacity of the knapsack, all are integer values. So the goal in this particular problem is we have to pack the knapsack to achieve a maximum total value of the packed items. I'm supposed to insert the items into the knapsack in such a way that I'm supposed to yield with a maximum benefit or the profit. That's my ultimate goal. You can insert any of the items into your knapsack. We don't mind, but I should get with the maximized benefit. And there is one more additional constraint, which of the items you insert, so that weight should be lesser than or equal to the size of your knapsack. It should not exceed the size of the knapsack, that is W, right? So we have one simple example here. W, the size of your knapsack is 20 here. And they are given some items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And each of the items, as I already mentioned, it is associated with the weight as well as the benefit value or the profit value, right? Item 1, so it is having weight 2, profit or the benefit 3, and so on. So for all your items, so we have associated with the weight as well as the benefit value. I'm supposed to insert these items. I don't know which of the items I can able to insert into the knapsack, but ultimate goal is I want to be maximized with the benefit value, and whatever the items you insert, so that should be lesser than the size of your knapsack. So that's our goal we are supposed to achieve in the case of your 0-1 knapsack problem. So in other words, maximize the benefit. You insert any of the items into the knapsack, right? So I should get with the maximum benefit subjected to the constraint. So which of the items you have considered or inserted into the knapsack, its weight, the summation of its weight should be lesser than or equal to the size of the knapsack. And this problem is called as 0-1 problem because each item must be entirely accepted. That means the partial insertion of the item is not allowed. It should be inserted in full. If it is inserted in full, I'll call it as 1. If it is not inserted, I call it as 0. So no partial insertion of the items, right? So if there is a provision for partial insertion, so those items can be rejected. Just another version of this problem is the fractional knapsack problem, where we can take fraction of items. So that we are not discussing in today's sessions. So only we are concentrating on 0-1 knapsack problem, where the items can be inserted fully or not. If it is inserted fully, I can make the consideration of that item as 1, if not as 0. Suppose if you try to address this problem by using your brute force approach, I think you're all familiar with a brute force concept. There is no strategy in your brute force approach. Somehow I'm supposed to find the solution for your given problem. Let's first solve this problem with a straightforward algorithm, that is by your brute force approach. So in this scenario, for your n number of items, I'm supposed to have 2 to the power of n possible combination of items. All possible combination of items we are supposed to consider, right? So those combination will going to be obviously 2 to the power of n. And for those 2 to the power of n combination items, estimate the total benefit value plus the total weight value. I should get with the maximum weight subjected to the constraint that, so its total weight of the items we have considered should be lesser than or equal to the size of your knapsack, that is W. So in the case of your brute force approach, the time complexity will going to be big O of 2 to the power of n. So this is not the optimal way of solving your problem in the case of your 0-1 knapsack problem by using brute force approach. So that's why we are preferring 0-1 knapsack. Obviously, we can do better, yes, with an algorithm based on dynamic programming, and this adopts the concept of dynamic programming. As I already mentioned that in the case of your dynamic programming, your problem will be divided into sub-problems. We used to find the solution for those sub-problems, and those solutions will going to be stored in the memory, and later on we use that stored solution to solve the larger distance problem. So this is the strategy we adopt in the case of your dynamic programming. We need to carefully identify the problems, right? If the items are labeled as 1 to n, then a sub-problems would be to find the optimal solution for S of k, some part, right? Items labeled from 1 to k. So some part I will be considering for the smaller smaller size problems, that we call it as a sub-problems here. Defining a sub-problem, as I already mentioned that if items are labeled as 1 to n, so you can consider a part of these items. So I can consider among these n, k items. So finding the solution to those k items, that is from 1 to k. So we can call it as a problem of size sk. The final solution will going to be Sn. The smaller distance problem will going to be S of k. So definition of a sub-problem here. The same word problem. 5 items are there, and each of the item is been associated with the weight as well as the benefit. See this weight, the benefit of each of the items here. The maximum weight of the capacity of a container or an knapsack is 20. I consider one combination, S4. So in this combination S4, 1 to 4 I consider. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the total weight is, if you just summation these items weight, so it will going to be 5 plus 4, 9, 9 plus 5, 14. The total benefit will going to be summation of these values. 8 plus 5, 13, 13 plus 4, 17, 17 plus 3, 20. Benefit is 20, and total weight what we are getting is 14, which is less than or equal to the size of your knapsack, that is W. I consider one more sub problem, S5. Okay, so its total weight. So in the case of S5, I consider the items W1, not the 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here in this case, the total weight is 20. I'm considering item 1, 3, 4, and 5. If you make the summation of this weight, the total weight will going to be 20, and the profit will going to be 26, which is better than your previous subset. Okay, so even so this total weight is lesser than or equal to the size of the knapsack, that is 20 here, right? So I'm just trying to define how your sub problems looks like, right? So try to find the solution for the sub problem, and finally sometimes it overlaps. So with the overlap concept also you can find the solution, and later on you can use those solutions to find the solution for the higher problem instance. Let us not go in detail again with this. So as I already mentioned that when I was talking about your dynamic programming, so your problem should have to be addressed by using a recursive function or by using a recursive formula. If you are clear with this recursive formula, I think you can easily write an algorithm for this. Okay, see this condition. Wi in the sense the weight of the corresponding item I. If this is greater than the weight, current weight of the knapsack, right? So the current weight, we are calling it by a small term W. The size of the knapsack, we are calling it by a big term, capital W. This is the size of the knapsack. And a small part of it, I am calling it by a smaller variable W here. If the item we have considered, if its weight is greater than the size of the knapsack at the current moment, so that we call it as W. So it can vary from 1 to or 0 to capital W. Okay. If this is greater, obviously I cannot insert this item within your knapsack because we don't have the sufficient space in your knapsack. So what would be the benefit or what would be the profit? So benefit will going to be when I inserted the previous item, I minus 1 item. So that benefit itself, I am supposed to make the consideration for B of I comma W. I in the sense the current item consideration, W in the sense the current capacity of the knapsack. If this exceeds this, right, the weight of the ith item exceeds your current capacity of the knapsack, so I cannot make the insertion of this weight within your knapsack. I should consider the benefit or the profit of the previously inserted item, that is I minus 1 comma W remains the same, correct? I minus 1 comma W. Suppose if this weight is lesser than or equal to the current capacity of the knapsack W, that is else part. So here in this case, we have two cases here. This is one part, this is the another part, second part. In the first part, what I do is, I'll consider the benefit or the profit of previously inserted item, that is I minus 1 comma W, right? So after considering the ith item, if your previous inserted item profit itself is maximum, I should consider that value. Suppose if this is lesser, after considering the current item, I minus 1, previous item, if I make the insertion of the current item into your knapsack, obviously the current capacity of the knapsack should have to be decremented by the weight of the current item. I should decrement this because I'm trying to insert into your knapsack. Plus, and when I make the insertion of this weight Wi, I should make a consideration of its benefit, that is Bi. To this, I should add Bi here. I'll repeat it once again. This is the most important formula. If you know this, I think you can easily able to write the algorithm. Plus, you can able to do the trace. Wi, the weight of the current item, if it is greater than the current capacity of the knapsack, I'm calling it by the small term W. If this is the case, I should not insert this ith item into your knapsack. So the benefit or the profit will going to be I minus 1. That means the previous item profit we need to consider. There is no change with respect to the weight, it remains the same. This is in the scenario when Wi is greater than W. Suppose if Wi is lesser than or equal to W, that is the else case. Wi lesser than or equal to small w. If this is the case, that is the else part. So there are two sections here. This is the first section, and this is the another section. In the first section, without inserting, if I'm getting the profit with a previous considered item, that is I minus 1, comma W, that is without inserting itself, if I'm getting the maximum benefit. So then this should be assigned to this one, B of I comma W. Suppose if you insert item, if I insert the item, that is I should be decremented by 1, that is current item, that is previous item. Current item is I, previous item is I minus 1. To that, the weight should has to be subtracted by the current weight, Wi. After subtracting this, if I insert the current weight, its profit or the benefit should be added to this, plus Bi. Among these two, which is the maximum one, so that should be assigned to your B of I comma W. As we know that, so we need to maximize the benefit. So the maximum among these two should has to be considered here. This is what it has been explained in the first as well as in the second. The best subset of S of I minus 1 that has total weight, S of I minus 1. The best subset of S of I minus 1, this first part, that has total weight, W of W minus Wi plus the item K. This one. Okay. If you know this recursive formula, the same thing over here. The first case, the weight of the current item is greater than the current capacity of the knapsack W. Item I cannot be part of the solution, since if it was, the total weight would be greater than the current capacity of the knapsack W, which is unacceptable. I'm not considering the current weight in your first case. In the second case, Wi is lesser than or equal to the current capacity of the knapsack, that is W. Then the item I can be in the solution, and we choose the case with a greater value. I'm supposed to choose with a greater value. So one without inserting, and another one with inserting your current item. This is the two sections, right? Among this, which is the greater one, should have to be assigned to your B of I comma W. If you know this recursive formula, your algorithm is very easy. So as I already mentioned that I'm supposed to have a two-dimensional array, that's a memory, right? So where this size will going to be I plus 1, or in another way I can say that n plus 1 rows, where n is nothing but the number of items, into W, capital W, plus 1, capacity of the knapsack plus 1. So that many number of columns we should have. So the rows will going to be n plus 1, and columns should be W, capital W plus 1. So in the first two for loops, the first for loop, I'm initializing your first row to 0, and in the second for loop, I'm initializing the first column to 0 here. Okay. The next part, I is varying from 1 to n. So this is 0. As I already mentioned that there are n number of items, 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 items, 1, 2, 3, 4 it is. Capacity, if it is 5, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 it goes. So I'm varying from 1 to n across your items, and across your column it is 1 to W. If that current item weight is lesser than or equal to W, that item I can be the part of the solution. Can be. It's not 100% sure, because I'm supposed to choose the maximum among your two solution. Among these two, the maximum should have to be assigned to your B of I comma W. Just check out which is maximum. BI, BI, b of I minus 1 comma w minus wi greater than b of I minus 1 comma w, this recursive formula. The maximum, if this is greater, this part will be initialized to b of I comma w. If this condition falls, it means that b of I minus 1 will be initialized to b of I minus 1 comma w will be initialized to w. Else, if this condition itself is false, so what we are supposed to do? B of I comma w will going to be b of I minus 1 comma w here. The algorithm is very simple if you know your recursive formula. Okay, see this. So let's run this algorithm for the following data. N is equal to 4 items, capacity of the knapsack 5, and the elements. So the first, so I'm considering it in a pair. The first parameter will going to be our weight, Wi, and the second parameter will going to be your benefit or your profit. Some textbook they used to call it by a term profit, that is P of I. So here I'm using the term Wi corresponding to the weight of the item I, and Bi, here in this case it is initialized to 3. So that is the benefit of the ith item, right? So I have considered the weight as well as benefit for your n elements or n items, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as per your algorithm, first row should have to be initialized with zeros. So that happens through your first for loop. W is equal to 0 to capital W, where capital W is 5 here. Okay, so initialize everything to 0. Now I want to initialize your first column, the second for loop in your algorithm. I is equal to 1 to n. Sorry, this should be 0 to n. Okay, it can be 1 also because already this is 0, right? So 1 to n it can be. 1 to n, b of I comma 0 is initialized to 0. These 4 elements will going to be 0 here. Okay. Now, next for loop. There are 2 for loops. Within that 2 for loops, we have this part. I is varying from 1 to 4, and small w is varying from 1 to capital W. You can see in your algorithm this part. 2 follows, within this we have this. So this we have written in that particular example itself. Outer for loop varying from 1 to n, inner for loop varying from 1 to W. See this. I want to compute this field. I is equal to 1, small w is equal to 1. See this. I is equal to 1, small w is equal to 1. And it's bi, b of 1th item, that is 2. W of I item, sorry, this is W, the first parameter, and the second parameter is your benefit BI. Benefit will be 3 and weight will be 2 here. Okay. Check with this condition. Wi 2 less than or equal to the remaining capacity of the container. The remaining capacity of the container is 1. Is it lesser than or equal? False. And this value, that is V of I comma W, that is 1 comma 1 should be I minus 1 comma W. I minus 1 in the sense 0 comma 1. That means it should initialize with this value. So this value I'm getting it from this. See this change. Okay. Next, this field 1 comma 2. I is 1, small w is equal to 2, right? And this Wi, that is 2, lesser than or equal to your small w. Yes, it is. I can consider item I can be a part of the solution. I do not assure you here. Check for this condition. This B of I, what is B of I? 3. plus V of I minus 1. I is 1. 1 minus 1, 0. W minus Wi. W is 2. Minus Wi. 2 minus 2, 0. This is nothing but 0, comma 0. 0, comma 0 in the sense this one. 3 plus 0 greater than 3. This is 3. This is 0 greater than capital V. I minus 1, comma W. I in the sense is nothing but 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 0, comma 2. Okay. 0, comma 2. 3 plus 0. 3 greater than V of 0, comma 2. It is 0 here. Correct? It's greater. So this value should be updated with the value 3. Next, this value. Small w 3. 2 lesser than or equal to year 3. I think this condition holds good, right? That's why it's been highlighted here. So V of IW is equal to BI. So BI in the sense it's 3 plus V of I minus 1, comma W minus Wi. I think it's 0. So this value will also be 3. So likewise, keep on updating your memory table, right? So you can see the changes here. Next, I value will be 2. When I equals to 2, its corresponding benefit and weight I should consider. Weight will be 3 and benefit will be 4. And W, again it will be reset to 1. Okay. Wi, 3 lesser than or equal to 1. No, obviously it's the else part. So it will be initialized to 0 and so on. Keep on updating this table. And finally, in the last row, last column, I can get with a maximum benefit or the maximum profit. If you insert some items, the maximum benefit or the maximum profit will going to be 7. So that I can able to get through this algorithm. And still we are not clear that which items, if I insert, I'll get this maximum benefit or this maximum profit 7. See here. The maximum possible value that can be carried in this knapsack is 7. We got it in the last row, last column. If I consider your 4 items and your capacity as 5, the maximum benefit or the maximum profit will going to be 7 here. But still we don't have the clarity that, so which particular items if you insert, we used to get a maximum value of 7, right? So we need to trace back through the table actually. This algorithm only finds the maximum possible value that can be carried in the knapsack, and that we used to get it in the last row, last column. N is 4, W is 5, 4 cross 5 table, I used to get a maximum benefit of the profit. If I want to know which items, if I want to consider, I want to trace back to that particular table. We'll see how it is. We have the algorithm for this, a separate algorithm to know which of the items we have considered to yield with a maximum benefit of the profit. So initially I is initialized to N, number of items. K is initialized to the capacity of the container, capital W. If V of Ik is not equal to V of I minus 1, comma K. So I mean to say that this one, I'll comparing with this. This is I, comma K. Okay. If it is not equal to I minus 1, I'll decrement I value. Initially I value will be this. I'll decrement 3, comma K, 5. I'll compare among these two. If these two are not equal, then we say that we have not, if it is not equal, then we can say that this particular item has been considered for the insertion. If they are same, So when we consider the same, so normally if I do not consider this item into the knapsack, obviously these two values will going to be same. Okay, see here. Ik, if it is not equal, mark the ith item as in the knapsack. If it is not equal, then I should consider that, and then I should treat that particular item has been inserted into the knapsack. And then decrement I by 1, and k should be k minus wi. If that item has been inserted into the knapsack, obviously k should have to be decremented by minus wi. If not, so in this particular example, they are not equal actually. Just decrement the item. Don't do with respect to the k value. K value doesn't change, right? See, 7 and 7. I is initialized to n, that is 4. K is initialized to capital W, 5. Ik both should be greater than 0. Yes, they are. V of ik not equal to V of I minus 1 comma k. I'm comparing these two. I is 4, k is 5. So this corresponds to V of 4 comma 5, and this corresponds to V of 3 comma 5. This one. It's not equal. They are equal. Else, just decrement I value. Earlier it was 4, so then this value will going to be 3 now. There is no change in your k value. Done. Correct? I value should have to be decremented. 3 it becomes. Again, I and k greater than 0. Yes. V of ik 3. 3 comma 5. This is the one. 3 comma 5. 3 minus 1. 2 comma 5. This is the one. Compare among these two. Both are equal. If they are equal, I got the same values from here. This field has been updated from this, right? So no change. That means I did not consider this item I. So decrement your I by 1. From 3, it becomes 2. I and k both are greater than 0. I is 2. K value will be 5. Both are greater than 0. V of ik, that is 2, 5. V of 2, 5. Not equal to V of 1 comma 5. 2 minus 1 in the sense 1 of 5. They are not equal, right? So I got this value somewhere from here. So mark the ith item as in the knapsack. I should consider this item, that is item 2. Decrement I by 1. And meanwhile, if I consider this item 2, this k value should have to be subtracted by wi, that is w2. What is w2 here? So w2 will going to be 3. 5 minus 3, it will going to be 2. Now k value will going to be 2 now. See here. Next. I is 1, k is 2. Both are greater than 0. V of 1 comma 2, 3. 3 not equal to V of 1 minus 1, 0 comma 2. Not equal. It means that even I have inserted item I, that is 1. Decrement I by 1, this becomes 0. K minus k is equal to k minus wi. So wi is 2. This is 2, k value. 2 minus 2, it will be 0. Again, come to the loop. Both should not be 0. So now k value has become 0. We should stop the iteration. So we have inserted the two items, item 1 and 2. So that's why its profit is 7. That is, the benefit is 7. 3 plus 4, 7. And you can count your weight also. Weight, this is weight, wi, small I. Sorry, small wi. This is benefit, b of I. And even this weight, the summation of these two is also lesser than or equal to the size of your knapsack W. So this is how we are supposed to determine which of the items we need to consider to yield with a maximum benefit or the maximum profit. So this is about your knapsack problem. And if you want to know the time complexity, so this can be executed by big O of W, and this can be executed by big O of N. And here in this case, there are two for loops, right? So one is moving across your N, and another one is moving across your W, and this should be one here. And obviously, that comparison, I'm doing it here, and its worst case efficiency will going to be big O of N into W. So this is the maximum among them all, plus plus. This one will going to be N into W. So the worst time complexity of this 0-1 knapsack problem is big O of N into capital W, where N is nothing but the number of items and capital W is nothing but the capacity of your knapsack. And this is about your 0-1 knapsack problem solving by using your dynamic programming